Fox News alert: tensions growing in the Mideast as Fox News learns that the Israeli ambassador to the country of Bahrain has left the country as the kingdom immediately stops all economic ties with the country of Israel. This comes as the Israeli ambassador to Russia is revealing new details about that horrifying anti-Semitic mob hunting for Jewish people as that plane from Israel landed last week. Remember that video?
Ambassador Ben-Zvi saying, quote, "In the end, most of them ended up in a VIP room and they hid there and spent some time there. Both the regional and the federal authorities should take this very seriously because it could have led to victims, and that really would have influenced the entire situation in Russia." Former U.S. Ambassador to Israel, David Friedman, joins us now. Good morning, Ambassador.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for coming on. Yeah, the latest information is they did hide in this VIP room in the terminal. They were flown out. They had to be flown out by a helicopter after that. 30 of them were from Israel, and thankfully, none was injured. What's your reaction?
Well, this was very hard to watch. I mean, this was, the word for it is a pogrom. It's the angry mob that goes after the Jews, and it originated in Eastern Europe. And, it actually originated in the 17th century in Ukraine. Many Jews over history have died in these angry mob attacks. And that's what this was. And, there's still a couple 100,000 Jews living in Russia. Moscow, St. Petersburg, not as much at risk, but in the south, they ought to really think about leaving. I mean, this is an incredibly dangerous and explosive situation for the Jews in southern Russia.
Indeed. And Ambassador, as you look at the root causes of this in financing, you've got to look to the country of Iran. And, the proxy forces are firing stuff off at Israel all the time. When you look at some of Iran's human rights violations, it just flies in the face of the fact that as of right now, the ambassador of Iran is going to take the chair of the UN Human Rights Council today. But you look over at the big screen, it was just about a week, in the last week. A young woman died after being beaten for not wearing a veil. That was in Iran. In the center, you could see Masha Amini died in custody because she didn't wear her hijab correctly. And then, of course, screen right, Iran permits the execution of juvenile offenders. No law against domestic violence, same-sex contact, punishable by death. So is that the right country to put in charge of the UN Human Rights Council?
Guys, Iran is delivering to the United States right now a massive national insult. I mean, we are just without dignity right now when it comes to Iran. I mean, they attacked us 28 times since the war began. Our response was to, send a couple of missiles over at empty warehouses, coupled with an apology. Their human rights record is atrocious. I mean, these two beautiful young women, because they dared not cover their faces properly, were taken into custody. Mahsa Amini died 2 days later from her wounds. Armida Garawand was in a coma for a month. She unfortunately just succumbed to her wounds. They shoot protesters in the streets. They take dissenters and they execute them publicly. The foreign minister of Iran, we give him safe passage into our country. We protect him. He gets up in front of the United Nations and he lectures the United States and Israel. He threatens us. And now they're the head of the Human Rights Council. I mean, this is outrageous. During the Trump administration, I remember the conversation with the president and with Ambassador Haley. We left the Human Rights Council because we could not dignify that entity by being a member of it. Now, the Biden administration chose to come right back in, and they're going to be sitting there in the Human Rights Council, which is going to be chaired by the Islamic Republic of Iran, one of the worst offenders in the world of human rights. We are being deprived of whatever national dignity we have left by participating in this charade.
Yeah, Ambassador, I looked up what exactly their responsibility is, or his responsibility will be. His responsibility will be for the protection of human rights around the world and to address human rights violations, to report them and find a solution. Why was he selected? How did we come to this?
Listen, somebody should give him a big mirror because that's the way he ought to be looking in terms of human rights violations. We came to this because the United Nations is a flawed institution. And I think we need to get much tougher in the UN. We pay 22% of the United Nations expenses. We're only one out of 195 countries. You know, I think we ought to pay 195th of the expenses. Let all these other countries, all these rogue nations that are getting the benefit of the UN, let them pay for it.
Yeah. Ambassador, we have seen a wave of anti-Semitism across the country. The FBI director a couple of days ago said it is at historic levels. The reason Lawrence is over at the 2nd Avenue Deli is because somebody did a swastika on the building. So what do you make of yesterday, the vice president talking about the new plan the administration's got, not to fight anti-Semitism, but to fight Islamophobia? Because at the same time, you look at the president's polls with Arab Americans, and they're down at 17%. And he needs places like Michigan, which is a swing state, if Joe Biden wants to get 4 more years.
Yeah, look, it's all politics. And it's a shame because this is something that should be above politics, and it's not.
Right.
Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal, she was one of the few members of Congress who refused to join in this, 400-plus member resolution condemning Hamas and standing with Israel. She warned President Biden a couple of days ago, you're getting too close to Israel and you're going to lose the Islamic vote. What happens? 2 days later, Kamala Harris makes an announcement. I'm waiting for the announcement on anti-Semitism, and the punchline is we're going to fight Islamophobia.
Right.
I mean, how tone deaf can you get? I mean, at this time when Jews are 2% of the population, they're receiving 60% of the religious-based hate crimes. I mean, I don't support Islamophobia. I'm against Islamophobia. But today is not an issue about Islamophobia. It's about anti-Semitism.
100%.
You're right. Ambassador, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.